Some games stick with you long after you finish them. They're not just fun, they give you moments you don't forget and experiences that stay in your head for years. Here are the top 20 games everyone should experience once. Until Dawn is one of those games everyone should experience at least once because it makes you feel like you're inside a horror movie where your choices actually matter. The story follows a group of friends who reunite at a remote mountain lodge, and pretty quickly, things start going very wrong. What makes it stand out is how personal everything feels. The game reacts to what you say and do, so every decision carries weight. Gameplay is a mix of exploring creepy locations, making dialogue choices, and reacting fast during intense moments. There's no simple, right way to play. Small decisions can change the story, affect relationships, and even decide who survives. Until Dawn isn't just scary, it's memorable. The characters, the choices, and the different endings stick with you long after you finish. That's why it's a game everyone should experience at least once.
I was down there.
You were?
It was horrible.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone killed.
We should stay put right here until dawn.
Jessica!
You can't let me die!
You know, I've never been this close. It's the outside.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Can't be any worse out there. Can it?
Once upon a time, I had somebody that I cared about. And in this world, that's good for one thing. Get you killed.
I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
I get into trouble down there. You make every shot count.
The Last of Us Part 1 is one of those games that really shows how powerful storytelling in games can be. It follows Joel and Ellie as they travel across a broken version of the US, trying to survive in a world destroyed by a deadly infection. The gameplay mixes stealth, exploration, and combat. You're always low on supplies, so every fight feels risky. Sometimes sneaking past enemies is smarter than fighting, and other times you're forced to defend yourself with whatever you can find. What makes it special is how the quiet moments hit just as hard as the action. Simple conversations, small character interactions, and peaceful scenes make the dangerous parts feel even more intense. The Last of Us Part 1 isn't just a game you play, it's a journey that stays with you, which is why it's such an important experience for anyone who loves story-driven games. Visage is a horror game people really should play at least once. Everything takes place inside a regular house, but the longer you're there, the more wrong it feels. The game tells its story through different tragic events that happened in the house, letting you slowly piece things together instead of explaining everything up front. Gameplay focuses on exploration and tension. You're moving through dark rooms, solving puzzles, and managing your sanity while small details around you start to change. There's no constant guidance, so you're always paying attention, wondering if what you're seeing is real or not. What really sets Visage apart is how unpredictable it is. Lights flicker, doors open on their own, and strange sounds come from places you can't see. The game builds fear by messing with your head, not by throwing non-stop scares at you. Resident Evil 4 Remake takes a classic survival horror game and gives it a serious upgrade. The story still follows Leon on a dangerous rescue mission in a remote village, but everything feels more intense, darker, and more grounded. The gameplay feels more focused and intense. Ammo is limited, enemies are aggressive, and you can't just run in and shoot everything. You have to move carefully, aim well, and know when to fight or back off. That keeps every encounter interesting without feeling overwhelming. Exploring the village is a big part of the experience. You go through old houses, narrow paths, and dark areas where anything can happen. Resident Evil 4 Remake isn't just about nostalgia. It's a polished, well-balanced experience that mixes action, horror, and atmosphere in a way that still feels great to play today.
You're here looking for someone? Maybe some missing señorita?
Ashley, where are you?
Your soul requires cleansing.
Ashley Graham, are you in here?
Just let me go.
Listen. I'm hearing the president's orders and
What is that? What do we do?
Stalker 2 is the kind of game that drops you into a world and just lets you deal with it. You're exploring the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a place that's dangerous, unpredictable, and honestly, pretty unforgiving. There's no big tutorial guiding you. You're there to survive, figure things out, and decide what kind of stalker you want to be. Gameplay mixes shooting with survival elements. You're scavenging for supplies, watching your health and stamina, and thinking twice before every fight. Ammo and gear matter, and running into trouble unprepared can end badly. Combat feels tense, and that makes every encounter feel serious. Stalker 2 isn't for everyone, but that's kind of the point. It's slow, harsh, and immersive in a way very few games are. If you want a game that feels raw and memorable, this is definitely one worth playing.
When faced with truly inexplicable, some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion.
Yevhen Martinenko, 25 years old. Born in a small town, loved a good book, but preferred a good fight.
They took something precious from you.
Yes.
In your search for the truth, you had the...
Outlast 2 is the kind of game that really shows how intense pure survival horror can be. The story follows a journalist searching for answers in a remote, isolated area after a helicopter crash, and almost immediately, everything feels hostile and wrong. The setting alone makes you uneasy before the real horror even starts. Gameplay is simple, but intense. There are no weapons, no fighting back. You're running, hiding, and using a night vision camera just to see in the dark. That limitation makes every chase stressful, because your only option is to survive long enough to escape. Quiet moments never feel safe, and when things go bad, they happen fast. Outlast 2 isn't about fighting back. It's about surviving long enough to move forward. If you want to experience what true, high-pressure horror feels like, this is a game that leaves a strong impression.
Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. There's a father up above, and he's looking down in love. So careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. There's a father up above, and he's looking down in love. So be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say.
A Plague Tale Requiem is the kind of game that really pulls you in with its story. You're following Amicia and her little brother Hugo as they try to survive in a brutal, plague-ridden world. Things don't get easier for them, and the journey feels heavier and more emotional as it goes on. Gameplay focuses a lot on stealth and survival. You're sneaking past enemies, using tools like a sling and crossbow, and figuring out when it's smarter to fight or just stay hidden. The giant swarms of rats add constant pressure, turning even simple areas into dangerous puzzles. A Plague Tale: Requiem isn't just about action, it's about the journey, the bond between the characters, and how far they're willing to go to survive. If you like story-driven games that actually make you feel something, this is one you should play at least once.
No. Rotten flesh. Nothing to be scared of! No! You are not them. What is wrong with me? Hugo.
Amicia!
Come on. Do it. Quick.
Madison feels like the kind of game that slowly messes with your head instead of scaring you right away. You're stuck in a creepy situation tied to a dark ritual from the past, and the game slowly pulls you into a story that feels confusing, disturbing, and hard to escape from. Most of the experience is about exploring, solving puzzles, and paying attention to small details. You use a camera to reveal hidden clues, move through quiet, unsettling rooms, and try to understand what's really going on. There's no real combat here, so the tension comes from not knowing what's going to happen next. The game loves messing with your head. Rooms change, lights cut out, and strange things happen when you least expect them. It's not loud or flashy horror, but it keeps you on edge the whole time. If you're into slow, psychological horror, this is a game you must play.
Your will be done. On earth, as it is in heaven. Our Father in heaven. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. He's here!
Detroit Become Human is the kind of game that really shows how powerful player choice can be. Instead of just watching a story unfold, you're actively shaping it through every decision you make. The game takes place in a future where androids look and act like humans, and things start getting messy when they begin to question their role in the world. Gameplay is mostly about exploration, dialogue choices, and quick reactions during intense scenes. There's no traditional combat, but the pressure comes from knowing that one wrong move can change everything. That keeps you locked in, especially during the more emotional parts of the story. Detroit Become Human isn't just something you play once and forget. The different paths, endings, and character outcomes make you want to go back and see what else could have happened.
Come back here.
You stay there. Don't you dare fucking move.
Alice! Daddy's very mad!
It's all over now. Daddy isn't angry anymore. You know Daddy loves you.
This is all your fault!
He's coming. He's gonna hurt me. Run! Get away, or he's gonna break you like last time.
The Evil Within 2 is a game that surprises a lot of people once they actually sit down and play it. The story follows Sebastian, a broken former detective who gets pulled back into a nightmare world after learning his daughter might still be alive. That personal reason alone makes the journey feel more emotional than just survive the monsters. The gameplay gives you more freedom than the first game. Instead of tight, linear paths all the time, you explore larger areas, look for supplies, upgrade your skills, and decide how to handle dangerous situations. You can sneak around, fight when you have to, or just avoid trouble altogether. Combat feels tense because resources are limited and enemies don't go down easily. Every bullet, every upgrade, and every decision matters. You're never fully comfortable, even when things seem quiet.
Bring me the core.
Lily.
You are doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past.
Dad?
I'll keep coming back until one of us is dead.
Come then. I await you.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is the kind of game you should play at least once if you're into dark worlds and challenging combat. It drops you into a twisted version of late Ming Dynasty China, where a strange curse is spreading. You control Wuchang, a pirate warrior dealing with memory loss while trying to survive a world full of monsters and danger. Combat is fast and skill-based. You're dodging, parrying, and learning enemy patterns instead of just spamming attacks. Every fight feels tense, and winning actually feels earned. Exploration is a big part of why this game works. You move through ruined villages and hidden paths that reward curiosity. Along the way, you unlock new abilities and weapons that slowly change how you approach fights. If you enjoy a good challenge in action games, this is one you shouldn't miss. Chronos: The New Dawn is a game you should play at least once if you're into story-driven horror with a twist. It drops you into a broken future where something called the Change wiped everything out, and your job is to explore what's left and figure out how it all went wrong. One of the coolest features is how enemies work. When you defeat them, they don't always stay dead. If you don't burn their bodies, other creatures can absorb them and come back stronger. That means you can't just rush through combat without thinking. Combat mixes melee and guns, so you're switching between close-range attacks and firearms depending on the situation. Ammo is limited, and enemies hit hard, so timing and positioning are more important than just shooting everything in sight. Chronos: The New Dawn isn't just about being scared. It's about uncovering a mystery in a world that feels broken. Far Cry 5 is a great pick if you like open-world games that let you do things your own way. It takes place in a quiet part of Montana that's been taken over by a violent cult, and from the start, the situation feels tense and unpredictable. One of the best parts of the game is the freedom. You can tackle missions in almost any order, use different weapons, call in allies, or even bring animal companions with you. Want to go loud with explosions? Go for it. Prefer sneaking around and picking enemies off quietly? That works too. The gunplay is simple but fun, and the world always feels active. Random events, side missions, and weird characters keep pulling you into new situations without feeling repetitive. Far Cry 5 isn't just about finishing the story. It's about messing around, trying different playstyles, and seeing what kind of chaos you can create along the way.
Upon us! I shall lead you to the gate! For you are my children, and I am your father!
The Quarry feels like a playable horror movie, where everything depends on the choices you make. A group of summer camp counselors get stuck at a remote lodge for one extra night, and things start going wrong pretty fast. The setup is simple, but it does a good job pulling you into the situation. Most of the gameplay is about making decisions, exploring areas, and reacting during tense moments. You're not fighting enemies or running around with weapons. Instead, you're choosing what characters say, where they go, and how they handle danger. One bad call can change the whole story. What makes it fun is how unpredictable it is. Characters can live or die based on your choices, and different decisions lead to different scenes and endings. That makes you curious to see how things would play out if you handled situations differently.
There is a lot more to this than you realize.
Like what?
Kidnapping, murder, cover-ups. I think the whole Hackett family is in on it.
You have no idea what's going on here. Not a goddamn clue. All right, let's do this!
Who should I call?
911.
You mean 911? Who says 911?
Goodbye, cruel world.
We gotta get out. I'm gonna enjoy watching you die.
This isn't a ghost story, it's a creature.
Stray is a game that feels simple on the surface, but ends up being way more memorable than you expect. You play as a lost cat in a neon-lit cyberpunk city, trying to find your way back home while helping the strange robots that live there. The main feature is how natural everything feels. You're jumping across rooftops, squeezing through tight spaces, and exploring the city like a real cat would. The controls are smooth, and just moving around the environment is fun on its own. Puzzles are light but smart. You're helping robots, and figuring out how to move forward without the game ever feeling stressful. The world is full of little details that make it feel alive, from the music to the way the city reacts to you. If you want something different that still feels meaningful, this is a game you'll probably remember long after you finish it. Ghost of Tsushima feels like stepping straight into a samurai movie. The world looks incredible, and every fight feels cinematic. It takes place in feudal Japan during a Mongol invasion, where Jin Sakai is forced to change the way he fights in order to protect his home. One of the coolest features is the combat system. Sword fights are clean and responsive, with different stances that actually matter depending on the enemy you're facing. Timing, positioning, and reading your opponent are more important than just mashing buttons, which makes every duel feel intense. The game also gives you freedom in how you approach situations. You can fight honorably in open combat or rely on stealth, tools, and surprise attacks as the Ghost. That choice isn't just gameplay, it's tied directly into the story and Jin's character.
I am samurai.
No, you are more than that. You are the Ghost. Convince your people to join me, and I will give them peace.
We will never serve you. I've never seen a samurai fight like that. It was nothing.
You're more than a samurai. He is a vengeful spirit, back from the grave to slaughter the Mongols.
If you continue the...
God of War Ragnarok starts in a place that already feels tense and emotional. Kratos and Atreus are dealing with the fallout of what happened before, while the world around them is clearly heading towards something bigger and more dangerous. One of the best features is the combat. It's fast, heavy, and really satisfying. You're switching between weapons, chaining abilities, and reacting to enemies instead of just repeating the same moves. Boss fights feel intense, and even regular encounters stay engaging because of how much control you have. The game also adds more depth to progression. New abilities, gear upgrades, and skill choices actually change how you play, not just your damage numbers. Atreus gets more involved too, which adds variety and keeps things fresh over long sessions. God of War Ragnarok stands out because it balances everything well.
What is it you want from me? Is it a god of war you came to find?
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos? All that blood on your hands, on your son's hands.
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow. Because all that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
Dead Space 3 takes the series in a more action-focused direction, but it still keeps that tense sci-fi horror feeling fans remember. This time, Isaac is dealing with much bigger threats and a mystery that goes way beyond just surviving another space station. The gameplay leans more toward action than the earlier games, but the pressure is still there. Enemies hit harder, environments are more dangerous, and fights last longer. You have to manage your ammo and know when to push forward or back off, especially on higher difficulties. One of the coolest parts is how you can build your own weapons. Mixing different parts lets you create tools that match your playstyle, which keeps combat feeling fresh instead of repetitive. Dead Space 3 may not be as pure horror as the first two games, but it still delivers a solid mix of action, story, and atmosphere that makes it worth playing through.
Spinning up.
Here's where the fun begins. We're coming in too hot.
Give me a course correction.
The plates are shaking loose. We're dropping like a rock.
Oh, shit.
Isaac, do you copy? Isaac! Ellie! Ellie!
Elden Ring is the kind of game that just drops you into its world and lets you figure things out on your own. There's a huge, broken land to explore, and very little guidance. At first, it can feel overwhelming, but that's also what makes it so exciting. Combat is challenging, but it's fair. You're learning enemy patterns, watching your stamina, and deciding when to fight and when to back off. Beating a tough enemy or boss actually feels rewarding, especially after failing a few times. You also get a lot of freedom in how you play. You can roam around, level up, change your build, or skip something that feels too hard and come back later. The game never forces you down one path, and that makes every journey feel different. Elden Ring works because it gives you space to explore, discovery, and that satisfying feeling when things finally click.
Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Champions, welcome! A celebration of war!
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt easily earns the top spot on a list like this. It's not just big, it's packed with stories, characters, and moments that actually stay with you. You play as Geralt, a monster hunter searching for someone important in a world that feels alive and full of problems that don't always have simple answers. Combat mixes swordplay, magic, and preparation. You're using potions, signs, and the right tactics depending on what you're fighting. Some battles are fast, others make you slow down and think, which keeps things from feeling repetitive. Where the game really shines is in its quests. Even side missions feel like full stories, with strong writing and choices that can change how things turn out. You're not just clearing objectives, you're getting pulled into the lives of the people you meet.
I come for her of the prophecy. Every decision you make will bring devastation. Each choice will lead to a greater evil.